It's a motorcycle drive-by, baby dry condos. I think it's about time we headed home. Walking on this tire road with my damn high hopes. Country boys don't die alone.
I've really been looking forward to experiencing something of what my old man tells me he got up to, riding motorbikes in the country. And this is my first chance to ride a proper bike around the bush.
It's a motorcycle drive-by, baby dry kind eyes. I think it's about time we headed home. Walking on this tire road with my damn high hopes. The country boys don't die alone.
Oh yeah, you are. You gotta sync the audio.
I think you're right. It's padding and stuff. But I know.
Keep my inside.
So, you know, I deliberately didn't tell you much about riding, really. You'd ridden the mini bike and some other bikes, so just jump on and go, right? And I could have told you a whole lot more about handling the gears and all that sort of thing, but really, you're competent, and you just work it out for yourself, just the way I guess I did when I was younger. And I thought that would be the best way to do it. We'll just ride and you'll figure it out.
And I eventually did. After a while, I finally figured out this is how you change gears, this is how you stop, this is how you start.
Yeah.
Pretty self-explanatory after a while.
Go, start. Yeah, got the basics. And I was pretty impressed actually. He just jumped on this 250 after riding pretty much mini bikes. And yeah, we're off. So it's a very sweet bike to ride though, isn't it? It's just so smooth,
simple,
forgiving, kind of. Yeah, I know. And yeah, I'm just having a ball following you around on this KLX.
Kind of got it that easily, but then again, I think it was the bike helping me by being so simple to use and forgiving, as you said.
It's interesting though, isn't it, that to kind of ride a bike like this, you can jump on it, you can ride and do the basics, but to get into any gnarly stuff, to try and go faster and corner well, there's a whole load of stuff to learn. Yeah. So here we're going to head up to this quarry, and we're riding trails that I rode on my RM80 with all my mates when I was about 12 years old, going up around this place.
I've never seen this part of Renmark before.
That's because it's not in Renmark, it's in Monash.
Monash before, I don't know.
No, you wouldn't see this part of you wouldn't see this part of the country in Renmark because it's not in Renmark.
Yeah, I've never seen this part though.
Yeah.
We just never go around here with the car, so I guess
there's areas like this going up to this old quarry that we used to ride in. Yeah, you can't get up there in a car.
No.
It's old council quarry, and we used to burn around it. We built all sorts of jumps and stuff like that. But it's nice. It's nice soft sand, you know, not too soft, but it just makes you think about it, makes the front wheel jump around a little bit, move around a bit, keeps you on your toes. Got to keep the power down so that you can keep the front wheel up and floating on this sand. But here we go up into this quarry, and yeah, I think it's probably been 40 years since I've been up in there.
It's kind of passing the torch.
Yeah. There's no signs there telling us not to go in there.
No.
So you know, and it's just a great kind of bush track area. bit of rubble.
40 years from now, I'll come back up here and ride around again.
Maybe, if it's still here. You can see, this used to be all open and we had jumps and tracks and everything that we built when we were kids. But now they've dumped a whole lot of pipes and mounds, and I think we can make this into a hell of an enduro training area. There's all these pipes and shit there that we can use to practice trying to get over them.
And there's still a few kind of hills and ramps and stuff around, so we can mess around back there and build some tiny jumps, I guess.
I think what was good about this was it was pretty tame, and that's what we needed. You know, it's been years since I've ridden around on a dirt bike, and just getting the feel of these bikes, really, that's all we were doing, was the first ride to go out on them and just get to know them and to get a feel for it. I mean, when I was on the KLX, I just found like I was really enjoying just the blipping, the power and playing around, but it was enjoyable to just watch you tackle some of these little hills, rocky areas, that sort of thing. You did fine.
Could have been a bit more controlled on my gears, but it's all in the past. Got to change it in the future though.
I noticed that, and later on in the day, I really noticed you just revving the guts out of this thing where you could have been just working up and down through the gears and would have been better off. This was a bit funny, this spot here, because you were right behind me, and then I thought, geez, where's he gone? So I belted off down this track going, where's he gone? What's funny too, when we used to ride up here, we'd all be riding two strokes, so you could hear where everyone was. But you get 50 metres away from these bikes and you can't hear them. And that's great. They're great stealthy bikes for riding around scrub tracks, so you're not going to upset anybody. But when we're on two strokes, I could have just turned off my bike and listened, and I would have heard where you went. But I can't hear you, so I've got to go, okay, where's he gone? I've got to head back out there again, and I'm riding around looking for you. And I think I spotted you through the trees, and somehow you missed the turn off.
I was shot. It was just kind of hidden, I guess.
You missed the turn off. What bloody hell, he's fallen off again. Barreling around these tracks because it's just good basic practice. Bit of soft sand, a few mounds to get over.
And I guess the more we go through here, we'll build the track, kind of define the trails that we want to ride through. So
I think that's a big thing. We hadn't ridden through, well, I haven't ridden through here for years, so you're not familiar with where you're going, so you can't really just plan it and hammer it through these turns because you don't know where you're going to end up. And you know, these houses back in here, they weren't there when I was young. So we're right next to some houses too, so if we get a bit rowdy, someone's going to complain.
good thing we're not riding two strokes, making all that noise.
Yeah, as much as I'd love to have a KDX, 200 or something through here, I just think you'd just attract too much attention. You just work your way through some of these areas, the old quarry.
There's a lot of balance control and speed control around here as well, which is quite good for me since I'm learning how to control my balance and make sure that I can take these turns and up these mounds.
Well, standing up too, I think standing up and getting your balance and riding slow. I think that's what we started with, was let's just ride slow through the bush and get a feel for the bikes. Try and just stand up as much as you can and control the bike.
Which is what I did on some of these straight but hilly parts. Would stand up and try and take some of the balance on my foot pegs.
Yeah. It was just beautiful days though. Look at that, it was just beautiful. And it's the smell. There's something of the nitrogen in this red soil or something. It's just so distinctive in my blood somehow, coming up back to these areas. Sort of dust or something.
Makes you feel alive, just riding motorbikes through the shrub.
Kangaroo went through there. You can see him up there. Kangaroo came right across the front of us.
No, I didn't see it.
Here now.
I was too focused on everything.
Control of the bike.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
Oh shit.
But install it every now and again.
Gotta practice starting.
That's it. That's why I install it. For starting practice.
Uh-huh. But there's nothing I would rather be doing than riding around with my dad on a motorbike on a weekend.
Yeah, it's getting out there and doing it more. That's the thing. And, it'd be great. We'll do this bit of practice, and so we don't look like complete noobs. And it would be great to join a club and sort of go on some trails up north, where they've got some properties and that, where some of the clubs have had arrangement with them for many years, so you can get out on the properties with unregistered bikes and stuff. Both our bikes are registered, but you're not licensed, so we can't really go tootling around the river tracks. Get pulled up at some point.
I wish I knew I could remember how to get to Ralphie's track. I might have a look. Maybe we'll go up where I think it is and have a look at the drone tomorrow. Yeah. I've got an idea where it was. I don't know if it's still there.
Do we want to just do like a reconnaissance of it? Oh wait, no, I don't have a driver's license.
No, we stick to the sides of the blocks.
Okay.
It's only the blockies will tell us off.
Okay.
Then we can say, oh no, local. Well, what we'll do is we'll go back that way and we might go back down past Nanny and Grandpa's on the other side of their land and then onto QR's track and just have a look around. Yeah?
I remember it.
You know where to go?
Yeah.
Alright, go.
This is where I was talking about trying to find Ralphie's track. And it reminded me though of in the quarry here years before. We were on our 80s riding around through the back blocks that we were just in. And we discovered these, knee-high, waist-high, beautiful green, lush weeds that were all growing through there. And so we were riding through them backwards and forwards and with our legs out, and these things were exploding. We were getting covered in all this sticky stuff, and we were riding through it. And went into school the next day, and one of the other kids came up to us. I won't say his name, but one of the other kids said his older brother's gonna freaking kill us. He's after us. He's gonna kill us because we've ridden through his dope crop. We've ridden through all his marijuana and tore it all up, and I don't think we never heard from him because I guess he thought better of it. He didn't want to go beating up a bunch of 12-year-olds because we'd ridden through his marijuana crop. He'd probably have a pretty hard time describing why he'd beaten up these 12-year-olds. But that was a bit funny. And what I was saying before was this South Australia, when you read about enduro tracks and how the national parks and stuff are managed in Queensland and New South Wales and even Victoria, they've got loads of places to ride. They seem to have policies, or they've got enough lobbying power from some of the motorcycle clubs or something to be able to designate areas of national parks. And I know they're getting constrained there as well because people are building up closer and closer to these areas. They hear bikes. People who don't ride bikes get the heebie-jeebies about them because they think they're dangerous and all that sort of stuff. Maybe they are. And
that's a shame. A couple of bad motorbike people give them bad rep.
Yeah, it probably is just a few guys that leave rubbish around or don't stick to the trails and tear some places up they shouldn't. But in South Australia, geez, there's very few places anymore around national parks and that you can ride a trail bike. They're just banned. They're just for walking now, walking and bird watching. So you've got to go for a long way away to get out on a trail that you can ride an unregistered bike. And when I was younger, you could ride all the way around here. Actually, on my 80s and stuff, we'd ride through the blocks because Dad would always tell us, don't go on the roads, don't go on the sort of fire roads here because you can get pulled up. But if you ride on the edge of the block, you're on private property. So the idea is if the blocky doesn't complain, then you're probably okay. And as a bunch of kids riding around on 80s, we used to ride from town to town, go for a swim in the river, go for a swim in the lake, ride back, we'd take shovels with us sometimes and build jumps at the fences. So we could just zing over the fences and keep going, go for a swim, and then ride into Berry or something. And we'd also often ride to school, so we'd just ride through the blocks and leave our motorbikes in the block outside the school, and then when school's finished, we'd just jump on and ride home. I don't think you see that anymore.
It's the freedom that you got back then, but now they've really tightened up and made sure people aren't doing anything they shouldn't be doing, like riding to school. I don't think I know a single person ever who's decided to ride their motorbike to school. Ever.
Not if they don't have a licence, I suppose. All that's changed, and I don't know, maybe there was just less people around, but we didn't have, I don't remember a heap of accidents. Now I say that, and I actually do remember one that was pretty horrendous. This old guy didn't like us riding through one of his properties to get to a track, and it was on dusk, and he'd strung a wire across the track, so we all barreled down there, and one of my mates hit that wire and flew off his bike, and he busted his leg. So we all had to hair off and go and get his mum and come and pick him up. So that was a bit of a disaster. But that was the only serious injury, and we rode bikes all the time.
That's why if we want to build a track, we need to get some good insurance. So if any kids want to go ride around on our track and hurt themselves, we don't get the blame.
I'm not sure that'll save us. I think you've got a better security or something. I don't know. We'll see. I just think it'd be nice to push up a bit of a track on Grandpa's property, if he'll let us. At least a few burbs and some whoops and stuff. Yeah.
It's just to pick up so much dust. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what he's worried about. And dust can be a problem. This is a nice little area, wasn't it? Riding through here.
We were awfully close to that property though. So
You really did give second and third gear a good workout through here though, and you could have changed up and down a few more times. But I think you kind of just concentrated on riding and you'd forgotten about the gears. So you were revving her out a little bit for parts of this area.
that will be what I'm looking out for next time I ride. My gears. And of course where I'm going and everything else, but gears are really the thing I'm lacking in.
I'm just getting a feel to maintain your torque and your traction where you want it. But you could have... Yeah, but that was okay. I didn't give you any instruction or anything. I just thought, yep, jump on, work it out for yourself. You don't want me in your ear every moment telling you what to do. And you did fine. It was fine. Beautiful areas though, these scrub areas, these little trails through here. There's probably loads of them to explore around the area that seem to be on council land or areas that we could probably get to. I don't think this was private property, but it's pretty hard to tell. So, I don't know, maybe we've got to dive into some maps and have a look where we've ridden, and 'cause who knows, it probably wasn't private property.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
It was probably like on the borders of two, and it was just kind of protected land by the council for wildlife.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. There weren't any signs. Remember at the top and the bottom of this property there were signs saying private property at the top and the bottom of this one, but there was none when you went onto this area.
But they were all pretty like scrappy with just like a log holding it up. A log holding up another sign. So it could have been just someone walked down and put it down to me.
Because it's their property.
Yeah. Well, it could
And
have
they
been
don't
like
want
they
you
just
riding
didn't
on your
want
property.
you to ride too close. So then you thought you had free reign over that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your bike kicks up so much more dust than mine does. So when I was like in front of you, every time I was kind of thinking in my head, yeah, I'm gonna blast him with dust on this. But no, nothing, just a little bit of nothing. Just
I was totally unaware of it. I was totally unaware that you're eating my
like,
dust.
you would blast me and I would be suffocating behind you.
You have to ride faster then.
You want to have a go at this?
Oh yeah.
Now, I want you to remember it's very different. All touchier. Everything's touchier. So, take it easy. You're not really ready for it, but you'll, yeah. Take it easy, you'll be okay. More forward.
Kind of again, you can get on a bike, you can almost get on any bike and ride it casually, and you can ride it to just basically do the basic functions. So what you've done here, you've had one day riding a 250 and you jumped on a KLX450R, and I mean you probably got a bit of a buzz out of it.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like adrenaline took over on the third round. Oh, I can do this. Kind of going until I can't no more. By falling off or by being too scared.
It's a bit different.
It's a lot more bouncy.
A lot more bouncy, and when you put it down, it.
Yeah. Oh no, I did those on purpose.
Yeah, I know. I know, but yeah. You wait. Now you've ridden that, you have a hard time going back. This is very motocross.
Yeah.
Do some figure eight.
Yeah. But I'm having
Take
trouble
it.
on the turning.
Still take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try to be silly.
It's almost like you were riding this bike more confidently in a way. I was watching you. Your body position was better. You were up on, you were up on the seat more. Your shoulders were raised. Your elbows were up. Where the other bike, it was almost like you were lounging a bit. You were like cruising and lounging.
Press you on when I went on your bike. Prove to you that I'm responsible enough to go on a powerful bike like that.
It's a motorcycle drive-by, baby giant condoms. I think it's it's about time we headed home. Walking on this Tyrone with my damn high hopes. Country boys don't die alone.
To me, there's simply nothing better than revisiting some old riding haunts and kind of reconnecting with some of that energy that's left there from your youth. And better still, you share it with your son. It's awesome.
Every day's so fleeting, and I have been trying to save it while I can. Look on her face, all these hot, humid days, and the boys in my damn band. It's a motorcycle drive-by, baby, dry your kind eyes. I think it's about time we headed home. Walking such a tight road.